Hi guys, my name is Mohamed Adepoju and welcome to Photoshop. As you can see on my screen, I'm going to introduce you to Photoshop as a motion graphic designer. That means I'm going to introduce you to the tools and the elements I'll be using for Photoshop as a motion graphic designer. Now, if this is your first time of using Photoshop, if you're using from 2020 to 2018 Photoshop CC version, this is what you see when you open your Photoshop. Do you understand? Now, for you to start a project, either you open the project from your library, maybe open a media, maybe a picture or a video from your library, from your computer into Photoshop, or you can create a new page, a new canvas where you can start your project on. So we are creating motion graphics, and I'm trying to introduce you to what you need to start your motion graphic career on Photoshop. So let's do create new. You can create new here. You can just come to file, then select new, or you can press Command N if you are on Mac, or you can use Control N if you are on Windows. So let's say new. Now we're waiting for our window to change. So yeah, fine. If you want to create a new page, this is what you see. So here you can see name. You can name your project maybe motion graphics training. Do you understand? Training. On this clipboard determines your document type. Maybe you want to work with US paper, international paper, or photo, web, or so. You can click on films and video. Films and video, you see different sizes that you can work with on films and video. And let's say you want to work on a normal graphics file. You can work with inches. Do you understand? Or maybe pixel is cool. Normal size for Instagram design is 1080 by 1080. Do you understand? That means square pixel. Are you with me? Then the resolution should be 300 if it's just normal graphics, not motion. But with motion graphics, we're going to stick to 72 as our resolution. Now this 1920 by 1080 is for HD TV. That means large screen television. You understand? So that means it's landscape. Are you with me? Now we can just try to bring the size low a bit. So for system not to maybe hang, or do you understand? Let's say you want to create for just maybe random Instagram social media and stuff like that. This size is still cool because the landscape will still work. You can leave your resolution at 72. The color mode can be RGB, that means red, green, blue color. And the background content can be white. That means when you open your canvas, the first thing you're going to see is going to be white. You get there. So the setting is cool like this, you understand? I can have OK. I'm clicking on OK. Sorry, let me just take this one out of it first. Alright, fine. So clicking on OK, this is what you will see on your screen. This is your canvas, this is your workspace, this is your canvas. Now, after saying this is how the Photoshop interface looks like. Do you understand? And you can just, by the left side, you have the tools. So if you want to create any design on Photoshop, you need your tools. Do you understand? So by the right side here, we have the layer option. Then we have the color. If your Photoshop is not like this, so I think we should try to use something that everyone can see on their system. You can just come to the top here. If you are using a lower version of Photoshop, you can just go to Windows, go to Workspace, and select Essential. That means the default interface. Do you understand? Essential. So you can work with this. So this is how your screen will look like. Do you understand? Now, like I said earlier, by the left side we have the tools. By the right side we have the layer bar, channel, and path. We're talking about layer for just now. Now every element you have on this canvas forms a layer here. This is the background. It's locked because it's the background, default background. It's locked. And if I'm saying put a shape or a text or a picture on this canvas, it creates a new layer here. Do you understand? So the more the elements on this canvas, the more layers I have here. Do you understand? Now at the top here we have our options. That means the option for file, edit, image, layer. So if you want to work on layers, maybe like edit layers or play around layers, you can come to layer here. Type is for font. Do you understand? Select we call something selection on Photoshop. It allows you to work around things too as well. We get there, we talk about it. Then we have this window is where everything on your workspace is being selected. You can see we have the layer to be ticked. This is the layer. We have swatches to be ticked. This is swatches here. We have application frame. This is like application frame. We have what other things we have? We have our options. These are the options at the top here, and we have the tools. Then these are your tools. So you can select whatever it is you want on your screen from this place. Do you understand? So that's fine. Now again, creating a new page on Photoshop creates like it brings about a new window at the top here. So this is motion graphics and this is our window here. Do you see? If you create a new page again, it will create a new window here. So you can easily navigate through those windows by just clicking. Do you understand? We have just one here, so just leave this one here. If you create a new page, like maybe you go to file, new. Let's say new, select your sorry, it's loading. Create a new page. Now we have a new page here. So you see this is our initial page, the motion graphics page here. Then we have, can you see? So that is nice. So now let's talk about the tools that you'll be needing for motion graphics. Design have rules and design have elements. Principles and rules, then those are the rules guiding designs. Your design doesn't have to be too fine, but if you apply these rules, you're going to come out with an outstanding design that is going to pass the message you need to communicate. Do you understand? Now let's talk about the tools that you need on Photoshop. Design elements, we have the text, we have the shapes, we have text shapes, we have pictures, we have colors. So these are basically the things that we'll be needing for this training. Now let's start with the tools here that you'll be needing. This is called the move tool. It's more like it helps you to move. Can you see what it's showing here? You can move, like adjust, transform with it and stuff like that. We still get there. This is your selection tool. Selection tool allows you to like create selection and apply effects. It's more like saying, you see, as you can see on the screen here, you're selecting a part of the picture and can apply effects on that part of the picture, and it won't affect any other part. Do you understand? We still get there. This is the lasso tool. The lasso tool allows you to make selection as well, but it's just that you can eventually draw your selection at yourself. Now under the selection tool, you can just right click. Once you right click, there are other options under it. Do you understand? And right click here, there are other options under it as well. Then we have the crop tool as well. It allows you to resize your picture. The other tools here that I'll be working with, let me just stick to the ones that we need for our motion graphic class. Now we have the text tool. This is for your text and for your font. Use this tool for your text, for your font, write your text and all like that. Then we have the shape tool. This shape tool allows you to draw shapes. So if you can right click here, there are other shapes under it as well that you can work with. Are you with me? So if you right click under the text tool, it's just this the first one that will be needed for our design. This is just horizontal text tool. I can play around that on your side. Now what I want you to know is that clicking on any tool, the option at the top changes. Every tool will have its own option. If I click on selection tool have its own option here at the top. As you can see, if I click on the move tool, it's just plain. If I click on the text tool, it has its own option where I can select my font type, my font style, my font size, alignment, color, and all like that. Then if you want to like check more options for text tool, you can just come to Windows, then click on character. Windows, then character. That's where you see your text setting as well. Character. Now clicking on character, you can see I have other options for my text. It means I can select my font type here, my font style, my font size, then what's this? The set deleting. That means the space you want in between fonts. Do you understand? Not horizontally but vertical, like vertical space between fonts. And we have this one is for the horizontal space between fonts. Then we have if you want your text to be bold, if you want your text to be italics or all caps, there are options that you can just play around. Do you understand? Now for shape as well, if you click on shape, you can see we have shape options here. We have the fill, That is on the shape color. You can click here and select colors that you want. Do you understand? And we have the shape stroke. This is on the shape outline. That means the outline outside the shape. You still get there. And the stroke size, it means how bold the outline will be. And we have the stroke style. And everything is here. We still get there. Do you understand? So let's talk about something else. This is layer. So you just try to take note of everything we're talking about. This is layers. Every layer have its own option. You can work on layers here. Select layer option here, or you can as well right click. So it means we're working on a tool. You can right click, then to check for other options under the tool. But we'll still get there. Just going to introduce you to how it works. So this one is called layer mask. We want to add a mask to layer. We get there. I'm just going to explain things that we'll be needing. Layer mask. So this one is called create new fill or adjustment layer. We'll still get there. Do you understand? This one is to create a new group. On Photoshop, you can select 2 or 3 layers and group them together. So when you group them together, it means you can like work on them together at the same time. Maybe move them or transform them together. Or you can select 2 or more layers together and merge them. Merging a layer means that those layers are together forever. There is nothing you can do again to like separate them. But by grouping them, you can still ungroup them. So you can create a new group here. Then you can put layers into it. You get there. Here you can create a new blank layer. Do you understand? This one work well with selections. So let's start with our test. If you want to like, if you're not doing anything on your Photoshop, you stick to your move tool. This is the move tool. It allows you to like select other options. So let's say you just click on this tool now and you are done with whatever you are doing on it. You can just click here. Then you are cool. Do you understand? Now let's start with the test tool. At least if you want to create a design, you need your test. And this is where you type your test here. This test. Just click on this. The setting change at the top, the color and everything like that. You realize that the color is the same thing as the background. You can just click here yourself, then change the color by yourself before you start. We have black, it's still cool. Just click here. Let me start with motion graphics. Once you are done typing, just come. No press. If you press enter, it goes down. Once you are done typing, you can just come here. Then click here. Do you understand? Or you can just click on your move tool immediately so that you'll be able to see the transformation option. This thing here, to zoom your screen, your canvas, you press Control plus. Control then plus. That means the control then the plus beside the lead. You see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0, minus, plus. So to reduce, you press Control minus. To expand, you press Control plus. To fit to screen, you press Control 0. See, it fits to screen. Now, this thing you are seeing here is called transformation tool. It helps you expand your layer. Like you can use it to increase the size of your layer and do some other things, which we get there. It's called transformation. Do you understand? You can come here to transform. Free transform, Control T. And that is going to transform your layer. You can come to transformation options, or you can just, these are the options here, right? You can flip vertically, you can flip horizontally. You see it's flipping itself. So I can just edit come to transform and just flip vertically as well. You see, stuff like that. So if you want to go back, if you are using Photoshop 2020, or better still, just come to your edit here. You see, come to edit here and look at the shortcut. So if you want to undo, you just Control Z. So you see, if you want to undo, you can see it here, Control Z. If you want to undo, Control Z. If you want to redo, it's Control Shift Z. Control Shift Z. Do you understand? We want to undo, Control Z. Now, if you are using a Photoshop that is, let's say from let's say 2014, 2015, and stuff like that, their shortcut might still be Control Alt Z to undo. So better to just go to edit and check for the shortcut so you can know what it's all about. So maybe yours is Control Z or Control Alt Z. Do you understand? Now this is your font. You realize that I've dropped my move tool Now I can't find any options where I can adjust my font here anymore. I can just come to window, then go to character. I can see this letter A here showing my text option. So even if I'm done with anything I'm doing here, I can just click on character here. Now you realize that by creating a text, it created a layer here. I have a new layer with the background. So if you click on any layer, this one you can't click on this background. This background is not showing transformation option because it's locked. But this is a text layer. I can click on it, realize that it's showing here. Make sure show transform tool and auto select are ticked. You can increase your font size here. Come here, you can increase the size, you see. Now you can move your text, like move your text around, move it about and stuff like that. But if you want to move, make sure that once you realize that this thing is showing, you can see this curve, or maybe this line, or maybe this, you see this arrow with something. You see this arrow has something under it. This one doesn't. This one does. This is an arrow again, another separate arrow. Realize what this thing looks like here. If it's outside your shape on a blank background, it's like this. It has this kind of arrow under the main cursor. If it's where you can move, like it's just the cursor. If it's where you can create transformation, like maybe like start transforming, maybe you want to expand on stuff, it create this. And if you are transforming anything, after transformation, you have to press enter to submit your transformation. Let me give you an instance. You want to expand this font. Then you are dragging from this side. You click, then you drag from this side. After transformation, you can't click on any tool. Oh, maybe you can. You can. Okay, fine. That's nice. On Photoshop, you won't be able to click on other tools. It's going to like request you to submit your transformation to press enter. So after transforming, maybe after transformation, it can either like submit here, commit transforming, or maybe you can just press enter to be able to do some other things and continue. Let's say something like this. I'm transforming like this. Not apply an effect, maybe other select. It's going to be blank. Do you understand? I have to like commit my transformation by pressing enter or by submitting here. Enter is faster. Just press enter. You see, I can come and see that I can have everything I want to do here again. This is how you create your text. Do you understand? And you can select your text color here. Do you see? I select your text color here. I can choose my text color. You see, come here. The color showing on new with the color once you are done. So I can select my text color here, any color that I want, and press OK. So I have my color here. Do you see? So text have some other things that you are going to like move with, or we're going to work on. That will be on the main motion graphics trainer. I'm just going to show you how to create your text. Now you can create your shape as well. This is your shape. This is your shape. Clicking on the shape, let's use the rectangular shape. Once you create a shape, once you click on the shape, you realize that the shape option changes at the top. You can click here to select your shape color. Maybe let's talk about this. Let's do this. Let's do blue. Let's do brown. The same color as the text. And once you are done, you can just draw the shape here. Can you see? Now, after drawing your shape, the shape property pops up as well. Do you see? If you are using Photoshop 20, let's say 2015 or 14 upward, the shape option pops up. Now here you can adjust the radius. You see, you can just come here. You see, once you see this arrow here with the hand, you can just click. So clicking means you are left clicking. You can just right click to check for options most times, but right clicking takes the action, like it helps you take action. So just click, then you can just drag. I'm dragging. I'm like you are holding on to your left click. We are just dragging your mouse. Do you see? Alright, fine. I can select your shape color here if you want to. Or you can just come here as well, this edge here. Or if you don't want the shape to have any color, you can just come here then. No colors. You can give it color here. Do you understand? And if you are done, you can just click outside, and this is the shape outline. When you want shape to have outline, maybe stroke, you see, this is what they call outline. Just select the color for it. Or if you don't want any outline for the shape, Just click here. So you select your shape color here, shape outline here. Here you can decide if you want the outline to be at the center or inside or outside. You can play around it. This is the outline size. Maybe you want it to be bold or be long and stuff like that. Okay, around there. Now that's that about shape. Now this is, you can see the shape created a new layer here. So this is the text. This is the shape. Okay, fine. Now if you are trying to bring, like I said earlier, if you want to move your shape or maybe any layer, you don't move it from this center here. Don't move from here or anywhere you see this arrow like this. Also move from a blank, from a blank area where you can just move up, you see. Because if I want to move from here, it move this instead. So I have to press enter to submit my transformation. But you can just move from a blank space, like somewhere blank where no arrow is showing or just the blank also. Now what you can see here is that your shape is above your text, which is not something that we need. We need the text to be above the shape. So here's what you can do. You can just come here, then drag the shape. Just drag it up. Can you see? To drag the text, you can just come here, drag the text down. Or if that seems complicated to you, you can just use control brackets. We have two brackets beside P. Now we have QWERTYUIOP, and we have brackets, one bracket, two. Just press control brackets. You see, control bracket. That means bring up, bring down, control brackets, control brackets. You see, the first bracket is bring up, second one is bring down. Do you understand? Now, like I said earlier, you can use either your mouse or the arrow tool on your keyboard to move and adjust. Do you understand? So this is it. This color doesn't actually work well. We still talk about design rules and principles later. About contrast now, you having a dark font on a dark background doesn't work out well. Now you can just come here. Let's say this is a lighter font. Just click on color. Let's say we can let's use this. You see, and it's much more better. Okay. Now we have our text on our pictures. We have our text. So text to have many options on that. You can just right click here to see the option on that text. You see, you don't need all these ones for now. You see the text have warp text. I'll come to warp text here. Warp text. You see, you can if you want text to be curved, you see. So we'll still use all these things for our designs doing motion graphics, because you can create transformation using all these ones too. Now we have our text, we have our layer, we have our shape. We have the text is the layer, the rectangle is the layer. The rectangle is the shape. The text is the font. Do you understand? Now in motion graphics on Photoshop, there are limitations to how you can create transition for shapes. So basically, motion graphics on Photoshop work with smart objects. What do you mean by smart objects? Smart objects are let's say, layers. You can convert a layer into smart objects in the sense that let me just wait for you to see. This is our rectangle. Now I can right click the rectangle and convert the rectangle to smart objects. Convert to smart objects. Do you see? And I can see it's changed here. Yeah, you see, let me just Control Z to go back. Control Z. You see, it looks like a shape initially, but now in smart object it looks like this. Smart object thumbnail. Do you understand? Now this text, I can convert the text as well to smart objects. But then let's say this rectangle now, I can edit the rectangle as a smart object. Then on saving, it's going to reflect anything I read on it on this place. Let me read for you to see. Realize that this is a new window, a motion graphics training window, right? Now let me just come to smart object. Let me just right click, then edit content. Edit content. Do you understand? Or I can just come to this edge, this part here, then double click. You double click. Sorry, don't mind me. Now you can see we have our rectangle here. Let me just take this one inside. We have the rectangle here. This is our rectangle. You see, realize that it creates a new window for the rectangle .tsb. That is Photoshop I think Photoshop large file or something also, whatever. And we have the rectangle here. Now we can apply an effect on this rectangle here, and it's going to reflect on our shape. Let's say I want to create a new shape, maybe a circle. Just right click on the shape to click on circle, then maybe draw a circle. You see, I'm drawing a circle here. Now I can give the circle, let me just come here, then give the circle, let's say this color. You see. Now once I'm done with this, all I have to do is just to press Ctrl S. Like, realize that the rectangle carries just its size, its normal size and everything here. So let me just press Ctrl S. That is save. Ctrl S. Once I press Ctrl S, it's saved. I can go back to my window here where I have my motion. I can even close it once I've saved, like close it. Now let me go back. You realize that it's showing on the original window. Now the funniest part is now that the circle that I created now doesn't create a new layer. Can you see? This is the rectangle together with circle. It's still one single layer. I can just double click here on edit content, anyone, double click here. Then it's moving me back to, you see, to create a window and do whatever you want here. So let's say you want to create an animation or a transition whereby your text, let's say your text comes from, okay, let me go back here. Let's say you want your text to come from around the background, like not to slide from up, just in between the background, you just slide down from the background. You can just do that here under Smart Object. Like the text can just come from this, because anything outside this canvas is empty, like won't count. Do you understand? So the effect can just come from here. Then if you save this one, then go back to the original page, then you play your animation. It's going to like just come from nowhere. Do you understand? And let me just so that is that about. So same thing is applicable to your text as well. Same thing is applicable to your text as well. You can just convert your text to Smart Object, apply any effect you want on the text wherever it is, then come back, then save this there, come back here, everything. But then no, as we go on, we are going to like talk about all this. This one is just to introduce you guys to how Photoshop works. Do you understand? Alright, now let's talk about clip masking. Clip masking means you are like putting a layer into another layer. Do you understand? You are putting a layer into another layer. Let's say you want to put somebody inside a circle. So you want the person to form the shape of that circle. Let me look for that. And anyhow, we did it here. Now, just the way we have this, let's say we should draw a circle. So we have a circle. This is a circle. No, it already showed layer option, layer properties. So you can just click here to just send it back. Now you can draw another circle. Now this is let me just click, make this one. Wait, though it's not the right color, let me just make something like this. Do you understand? Now, if I want this shape to form the same shape as the circle, like the same shape as the circle, to be inside the circle. So this part won't show. Do you understand? I'll do it so you get what I'm talking about. This part won't show. So what you have to do is that you have to make sure that the one you want, like the shape you want inside the other shape is going to be at the top here. Do you see? Then the main shape is going to be under. So you have to just right click this shape, then select go to create clipping mask. Create clipping mask. Automatically this is what happens. Do you understand? Now just right click, then you can release clipping mask. Do you understand? Now you can have, let's say this is our motion graphics and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. Do you see? I can like control bracket means sending it up. You see, control bracket. I'm sending it above this shape. Now I can select this motion graphics. If I'm to create clipping masks for this motion graphics now. Realize that this is the shape under it. So it's going to be clipped inside this shape. Do you understand? You can select different shapes at the same time. Maybe select this one, then press Control. Hold on to Control, then select another one. Do you understand? Hold on to Control, select another one. Hold on to Control, select another one. Do you understand? Now, I can select two shapes, 1, 2. Then if I right click and create clipping mask, you realize that it's going to be clipped under this shape. It means the one under it. So I just right click and clip clipping mask. Create clipping mask. You can't find this motion graphics anymore because it's clipped inside the shape. So it won't show anywhere except revealing it inside the shape. Do you understand? Now I have to just click on it here. It's showing here. Can you see? If I try to move it with my mouse, it's like moving something else. So you can just do something like maybe press Ctrl T. That's transform. If you want to transform, once you press Ctrl T, it's going to like transform just what you are transforming. Yeah. So if I press Ctrl T, I like that the options change to transformation option at the top. I can just move. I'll be able to move just this. Realize that moving it is moving just the motion graphics. And when I'm done, I just click here or press enter. So you see now I can easily move my motion graphics around wherever I want it to be. Can you see? But you see it's clipped inside this layer. So another way to clip layer is let me just Control, then right click, then release clip mask. Another way to clip layer mask is let's say this is the layer at the top, this is the one under. You can just click on the one at the top. You might not even click on anything. Just look for the okay, this is at the top, this one is under. Just come to the center here, you see this line. Press Alt. And that's that once I press Alt, alternate key, hold on to alternate, it's changing. Do you see? Do you see? Hold on to alternate, then just click. Yeah. You see, it's changed. Can come back again to the center, hold on to alternate, then you can just cancel. And that's that. Do you understand? So that's one thing about clipping mask. Now about grouping layers. You can select motion graphics, press Control, select this one, select this one. You can just right click and group from layers. Just group them. Group. So, or you can just press to avoid all this press, just press Ctrl G, and everything is grouped. Let's see. Command. Everything is grouped. You see, everything is grouped. Now everything is they are all together. Do you see? They are all together. Now, if you want to, you can see I can just come here, press down. I can still find my group here. You see, everything is grouped here. Sure, you can see. Everything is grouped here. Now, aside from that, if it's about we don't need to merge for now. Let's just not talk about merging for now. That's grouping. Now let's talk about layer mask. We talked about clipping mask earlier. Then let's talk about layer mask. Let me just ungroup everything. So layer mask is more like you are trying to hide a layer. You are trying to hide a layer under something. Then you trying to hide a layer, but you want to reveal it, maybe reveal a part of it or reveal it small. I'll show you how it's applicable to motion graphics so you can understand. Now to create a layer mask, you can just come here. Can you see? A layer mask. I'll click. Let's say I want to create a layer mask for this one now. For this layer, I can just come here, then click on this. It's created a layer mask for it already. So you see. This is the layer mask for it. This is the original layer. Do you understand? So let's say well, that's that. But the way it's applicable on motion graphics, let's do it this way. Let me just Ctrl Z, undo, to undo. Now, if you want to apply a layer mask on motion graphics, it means maybe you want to create a transition or something for the layer mask. What you do is, let's say you come to use this. This one is best to use this one. Click on this selection too. You see this one. Under the selection too, you can have add to selection. subtract from selection, or intersect to selection. Then this is feather. This feather determines how sharp or faded the edge of your selection tool will be. Do you understand? Let me give you an instance. Let's say I have a feather of 0. Then I'm creating a selection. Let me just draw. We have shape, we have to realize that this selection is moving, like it's creating all these small dots, you see. This is a selection. Now I can now clicking on this selection, I can come here and create a layer mask. Let me just click. I've created a layer mask. Realize that the selected part is white. Now the other part happens to be black, but I don't want to reveal my layer. Do you understand? So what you do is that I don't want to reveal my layer. Do you understand? So what I'll do is that I'm going to invert the layer mask, meaning that you realize that here we have black and you have white. So it's the black part that will hide your layer. Do you understand? This white is showing your layer, but if where you have black happens to be white, it will hide the layer. If you want to work with your layer, you click here. You can see the changes here. But I want to work with mask now. I can click here. Do you understand? So I'll just click on this layer mask, and I'll go to I just right click and can I invert it here? No, I can't invert. Let me see. Intersect multi selection. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. So like I said, just once it's like this, you click on your layer mask, then you press Ctrl I. It means you are inverting your layer mask. It means converting where you have black here to white and converting where you have white here to black. Ctrl I. Can you see? Now where we have black, now happens to be our layer is, then it's hiding our layer. Do you understand? Now it's here. This is how it works. Now let's say I can just click on my move to so this is the mask. This is the original layer. Can you see? No. Sorry. This is the original layer here. This is the mask layer here. If I move this layer now, it's moving everything together. It's not even move at all. Let's say I'm moving my layers, moving everything together. Do you see? Now I can unlink my layer and the mask. You realize that the mask is helping me to hide my layer. If I press Ctrl I, that means I want to invert the mask, meaning that this where we have black is going to be white, where we have white is going to be black. Ctrl I, it's showing my layer. Show you see. Do you see? So where the layer is, if I want to hide it, it has to be black. Like I said earlier, let me do it again. Let me delete this one. Delete layer mask. If I want to create a layer mask, I'm going to come here. Draw a selection. You see? Feather is 0. It means my selection will be sharp. I can just come here, layer mask, then click. So you see, it's created a layer mask, leaving where my selection is to be white. And it means it's revealing my selection. I can just press Ctrl I, converting it to black. I can just click on my move tool because I want to be able to move around and transform. Now this is the layer. This is the selection. I can use my arrow key to move everything, like to move them together. Do you understand? Now I can unlink my layer and my layer, the main layer and the layer mask, unlink them together in such a way that I'll be able to move the layer mask without moving the main layer. Let me unlink it here. Just unlink. You see, I've unlinked it. Now this is my layer. You see, this is my layer selection. I can move the mask. You see, it's transparent. But I'm moving that mask and it's moving. Do you understand? Okay, fine. You can try it and see what I'm talking about. Now let me just delete this layer mask. Like right click then delete layer mask. And let's now say we have our, let me just click on my move tool. This is my move tool. It's more like where you submit everything, like just submit it, everything like everything submitted. Now let's say for instance I have my, click on my selection tool, and the feather happens to be, let's say I happen to have a feather of 10. Fine. Or let's say 20. 20, 20. Now I can draw my selection. You see, I draw my selection. Then my normal masking, my normal control high. You can even see what the feather is like. Then unlink it. Then if I click on my move to, if I'm moving my selection, the feather you can see because it has the feather is quite high. Do you understand? So that is how feather works. That means the sharpness or how faded the edge of your selection is going to be. That's how feather works. And I'm going to be needing all I can delete. So I'm going to be needing all these during our motion graphics. So when I'm doing this, it won't be like magic to you. I'm going to understand. And this is not what the window of motion graphics looks like. Everything. This is what it looks like. You go to window and select timeline. Timeline. We do with timeline here. We create video timeline. And this is it. Control plus to increase. Control minus to reduce. Control 0 to fit to screen. Do you understand? So this is the timeline. Exactly. Here you can play your timeline. This is your time what's it called? Whatever. This is your main timeline. And we have something called the keyframe as well. We still get there in the training. This is your time. This is 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. You can move this thing around. Let's say this is our motion graphics. I moved it to let's say I just drag it to, let's say 1 second. It won't show here because it's not there. So let me just play. It's going to play and move across once it gets to 1. Do you understand? That's how it works. 1 second. That's just how it works. Now this is you can go back to the first frame, or you can go to the next frame. You see, next frame. This is your speaker. If you want to add audio, then you can increase the volume or use the volume. This is your display setting. Depends on your resolution when you are working on the video. With 100, it's going to be so sharp when you play. With 25, it's going to be not so sharp, but you can still play. It will look blurry a bit, but it will make it fast. Do you understand? Now this is the cut. You can cut. You can split your playhead. Do you understand? Split our playhead. Let's say for instance I want to split this one into 2. This ellipse shape into 2. And just come here and split it. Yeah. You see? So I can have this one. I can have this one too. I can have this one. It's a shape. You see? I can have this one also. Just click on maybe if I want to apply color on a shape. I just come to Windows, then look for properties. You see? So it's here. Just bring out the shape option. I can just click on this one and give it weight. You see? Now I splitted this shape. You realize that this is the first shape. Then we have another shape here. Can you see? So just like saying duplicating it, but just the same thing. So shape, motion graphics. So as time goes on our next class, in the main training, we'll talk about how everything works. So please just watch the video. If you have any question, and just send it to me. Then I'm going to respond on the group chat. Thank you very much.